Welcome to Mere Laboratories devlog. This is my first game project, which I currently call the Moana project. The movie is what inspired me to make this game, and I currently do not have a proper name for the project yet. If you'd like to follow and support the project, please subscribe for future devlogs and check the description below for other ways to follow and support the project. If anyone wants to donate art to the project, while I cannot promise I'll use everything sent in, I'll always welcome it and will be sure to credit you for it. Let's get coding. Okay, this is a devlog just to quickly cover everything that I've done so far in the project that I'm working on. See, I've already got quite a few scripts here. There's more inside the folders. Okay, we've generated, let's have a quick look around. So the pathfinding is all working great, and the generating of the terrain and plants within the terrain, and finding a placement for the player and the NPCs, so all working just fine. I'd rather all these start on ships, but I have not got anywhere near putting the ships into the game yet, so for now this is working fine. I've made the palm trees work so they reach over the tiles next to them, and you get this nice image of walking underneath the palm trees as you move past. They're just on a treetop layer which is over everything else, and beneath them is the actual base of the palm tree, which is on a different layer. If I just move this down, I can find the player in here, the editor. It's you can see the tiles generate in just around the camera area, so we don't have a ridiculous amount of tiles loaded at one time to help increase performance. And as the player moves into a new area, see the lines as they appear and disappear, that's it generating new tiles in from the tile map that we have set up in the scripts. And then when we go back to an area we've already been, no need to generate new tiles because the tiles already exist, it's just reactivating the tiles. These are all kept in a nice list here, and our scripts keep track of what's what and when it needs to be activated. Let's just minimize that mess there. Okay. So the islands are generated in using procedural generation, so a noise map, and then over the noise map I'm using a fall off map, so it removes more and more of the height in the noise map as it gets to the edge to give us a nice island shape, and we can get all kinds of crazy things from these small sparse islands where you get a couple of islands to these large islands that we started on, some with nice tall mountains in the middle, and you can go all the way over to them, and as you head towards them it loads in more and more as you go there. So that way, when you do a play session, you may never leave the island, you may only go out into the ocean nearby. That way it's not really expensive on memory, as we don't have too much loaded at one time. It also helps with saving, so when it comes to saving, we know the player's only visited certain areas. We don't need to resave everything, just what the player's changed. When it comes to enemy tribes, I will keep a list of what they've been doing during their time in each game session and save only the things that they've been doing. That way we don't need to resave over everything, which you can imagine would be quite costly. Obviously the height maps will all be saved, and placement of trees will all be saved, so that way nothing will move. Plants, once the islands have been placed, they will be chosen, where they are will be chosen by poison sampling. Once the islands have been placed, we'll use poison sampling again to place trees over, it goes generally over the 100 by 100 area, and then gets rid of all the points that aren't relevant to the island, and any points that are over rock or snow. And then all points that are over sand get a 1 in 4 chance of being kept. So you'll have less palm trees over sand, more palm trees over grassy areas, which I feel is a bit more realistic. I could probably look into that and find out if that is realistic or not, but I think it looks nice for now. So coming back on over to the main island, I'm hoping between islands will be where you'll be spending more of your time during games. I want to add interesting things like obviously mainly fishing spots and stuff, but I also want larger things for you to fish, maybe even whales, which I think would be an interesting challenge. I also want to add creatures like sea monsters and stuff, as well as the enemy tribes will be sailing, so there'll be fights with them as well. But coming back over to the main island, let's come back down to here. Just find where our tribes people are. Here we go. In a previous little clip that I made, I was just showing off the job system that I've created. It works. I've got an issue there with it. Try again. This works simply by creating a job. It really doesn't want to place one there. I will look into what's causing that later. This works by creating a job and then adding that job adds lit tasks within it. It has a maximum worker count for each job, and then people that are idle will grab the jobs and then grab tasks within it to fulfill it. For now, they're just going to a random point nearby and then spawning an item of wood into their inventory and then bringing it back to the job placement to create the house. And then once they have all the items, their new tasks get added to the list for constructing, which all workers in it can construct at the same time, and this builds faster the more workers you have on a job. For now, I haven't got any way of assigning people to jobs, but that is one of my next tasks that I plan to do. So that way, if you only want one person working on the house, you want everyone else to be gathering wood and other resources, you can set that up yourself. As for resources, I do plan to be having storage brought in soon. Right now, only houses work. Storage will just be a spot on the floor, so then you can set them to harvest the palm trees. Then I plan for the NPCs to go over, remove the coconuts, place them in storage, cut down the palm tree, place wood in storage, and then from what's in storage, the other people will be able to complete jobs such as building a house or a storehouse, which will be a larger building to store a lot more items inside, as this first storage will only be temporary. One of the more closer jobs that I am going to be taking care of is the tiles. I want to change them so they recognize other tiles next to each other and change sprites depending on that, because for now it's just the same square over and over again, and it's really ugly. I know I'm just in a really early stage, but I do want it to look better than that while I'm working on it. So for now, that's what I have built, and I plan to build obviously a lot more as time goes on. Any feedback's welcome, and I will get back to coding.